What's up, Sooner Nation? Happy Wednesday night. Hump day's over. Jay Jones says hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for being on for another 45 minutes. Hi, Billy. Thanks for being
What's up,
here.
Billy?
Another 45-minute episode of Sooner Surge Double Trouble. You'd think, how are we going to talk Sooner sports for 45 more minutes? It's very easy. You guys drive this conversation, okay, with your comments. Hunter's in the back room as our producer, showing these comments, and we like to show as many as we can, so drop them in the chat. Still got lots to talk about. Sooner softball had a dynamic day, signing 8 elite top 100 athletes. Unbelievable what Gasso's doing. The statue's going up soon. Love's Field's going to be rocking here pretty soon. Basketball program's on the up and up. Gymnastics always wins. Women's basketball looks great. Now, football team, get back in stride this week, and all things will be hunky-dory in Sooner Nation.
Got to get back on track. We'll see what happens. I mean, I've said it for 2 weeks now. You think they'd get back on track, and they haven't. So let's hope things change this week, right? I have not watched OU DNA in 2 weeks. I need to go watch it. I don't know, Jeremy, if you watched it or if anybody did to see.
I refuse to.
Yeah, great day for softball. I mean, unbelievable day. When you sign 8 of the top 25 players in the nation, it's a great day. And when you have 300 more points in the recruiting rankings, they call them, than the second place team, it's ridiculous. Machine.
Oh, yeah. Gasso's the GOAT for sure. Better win by. I actually, if this is a close game, there's more problems than we think. Replace Levy with Patty Gasso.
Wait. Jeremy, what makes you think this isn't going to be a close game? What from the last 3 weeks makes you think this isn't going to be a close game?
It's OU versus West Virginia at home.
It was OU versus OSU and OU versus Kansas. How's it?
I guess I still have my crimson colored glasses on, but this is West
Maybe
Virginia
you do.
and OU. Come on, let's not even bring that up. But yeah, Patty Gasso knows how to generate some offense. Their offense this year in softball is going to be better than last year, which is even crazy to have that come out of my mouth.
So you're not worried at all about this West Virginia game? You think it's going to be a cakewalk?
I think the defense is going to play pretty well, actually.
You're not worried about this game on Saturday? You think it's going to be a cakewalk?
I think the defense is going to be played pretty well. Richard, thanks again for being a Sooner Surge Unlimited member.
You're dodging the question.
No, I'm not dodging the question, Jay.
There you are.
No, I said I think the defense is going to play well, which I'm alluding to that the offense might struggle again.
So you think it's
going to? I think it's going to with DG at quarterback. You can't sleepwalk for sure against West Virginia. Coconut Greg, you're right. Injuries, Richard. Injuries. I mean, from what it sounds like, Jay, as far as there's a couple I'm still waiting on, but it sounds like they may get a couple of guys back. You think?
I think Stutzman's going to play. I think Bowen is getting healthier. I think he's going to play. Gentry Williams, I think, will play. It's whether or not Gentry can last the whole game. Yeah, Jackson, what happened at WVU hype, West Virginia hype there, Jeremy? You were all over West Virginia about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. I absolutely thought they were good. And by the way, Jay,
they've lost one game since then, Jeremy.
Oh, my goodness. Jay, Neil Brown possibly might be the coach of the year in the Big 12 first. Second of all,
Gundy.
I never said – I said possibly. Jay, I never said West Virginia was going to be dangerous in Norman. I just thought they were going to win a lot of games this year and have a chance for to be there at the end. But I didn't think they'd come to Norman and win. I still don't.
Hey, Philip, I have not watched it yet. I saw some stuff on Twitter about it. Tell us your thoughts on what you heard on there on the podcast. I haven't watched it. I haven't got to see it yet.
I have not seen Red Dirt Rambles either. Look, Peyton Bowen, if he's healthy, he's got to be in the mix.
He has to be.
Has to be. Especially since, Jay, all we heard off season and early in the season is Peyton Bowen's playing 2 or 3 different positions. If he's playing 3 positions, why can't he get on the field on 1 position?
Yeah, and Teague, I don't think Jackson Arnold's going to start a game this year.
I wish you were wrong, but
unless DG gets hurt, my opinion, for what it's worth.
I'm still on the Jackson Arnold 1-2 series a game. Nick Anderson seemed pretty sad. And when Caden Helms was what's the positive out of the past 2 weeks, he tried to skip and dodge it and said the future is bright. Wow. That's interesting. I don't know how Caden Helms still hasn't gotten on the field.
He's injured.
Still?
He's injured.
So he's
Yes.
out for the year.
He's out for the year. As
So did
far
he
as
have
I know.
surgery?
Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's
Did
out
he
for
have
the year.
surgery, though? What was the injury?
I hit a boot on earlier in the year. Infidel 912, put the best players on the field, throw out the BS, and force your dominance on them. Hey, that's what needs to happen. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. Are they playing the best players, though? That's the question I have.
Sooner Surge viewers here. Again, thanks for being major knee surgery in July. I think I'm thinking of the other guy then, Cade McIntyre.
Llewellyn? Oh, McIntyre.
McIntyre's played this year.
Yeah, early on.
Let me ask you this, Sooner Surge viewers
ACL.
and Double Trouble viewers. 3 guys right now. 3 guys off the top of your head, guys. 3 guys that you want to see immediately. You want to see more of right now, immediately.
Well, I can answer one for you. I can answer one.
Jay, I want to hear your 3, and then I want to hear the viewers' 3.
Kip Lewis.
Well, he's already started. I mean, I think he's in for
Jaquez
good.
Petaway. Love to see some Jaquez Petaway. I'd love to see Hicks at running back, just to see him. And then I'd like to see some Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, we got Gibson, Bowen. Petaway seems to be an overwhelming. They want to see more. I want to see Jake.
Okay, let me talk about Petaway for a second. 80 to 90% of the people, and I'm talking about people, I mean anybody in the OU media, in the offseason, whatever, they all said Petaway would be almost starting a major player in this year's team. I don't understand where he's not playing at all.
He only caught 10 balls that one game, Jay.
Well, that was the first game of the year, wasn't it?
But he only caught 10. I think they need him to get 15 to secure his playing time. Hey, I'd like to see Gibson, Arnold, and Peyton Bowen, I think. Yeah, Gibson, Arnold, and a lot of people are not Uncle Charlie. So everyone that's mentioned has not mentioned Jackson Arnold. So I'm assuming you don't want to see Jackson Arnold. Is that right?
No,
I
think
it's a possibility.
I don't think there's a possibility, Jeremy.
I will say Robert Spears-Jennings been pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see more of RSJ Jackson. That's a good point. And Kip, obviously, when Kip plays, he does well. To me, if Stutzman can play, I think they're going to go Stutzman. They may go Stutzman and Kip Lewis this week as a starter.
They might.
You know who I'd like to see more of? I don't think he plays enough. It's McCullough. Why is he pulled out of the game so much?
I think it's because
they like Dolby a lot.
They do like Dolby a lot. So a lot of people do say that they would like to have Arnold. It's just, or it looks like a few people. Yeah, I'd love to have Andrew Anthony would be out there. That'd be nice. But
you know who I'd like to see?
Who?
Anybody but number 81 at tight end. And I love the guy. I love
Jay. I would agree with you if the tight end room was better. It's not very good.
Well, I mean, can you not try something else though?
You could. Hey, yeah, that was the question I had. What was the one about more blockers this week?
Yeah, he was against Texas, but I haven't seen him a whole. I mean, he plays some, but he's not.
Last week, I thought he rolled his ankle, someone said, but it didn't look like he rolled it. So I don't know why he was out.
You know, he made a great play on the little flea flicker that Ollie Gordon threw. He read it and went all the way over after Gordon almost knocked the pass down. But I think he makes plays and then he's just not in there. I don't understand it. I think they're doing more for coverage with Dolby, but I don't see it. I think he's a playmaker. I think Deshaun McCullough is a playmaker, so he needs to be in the game. But listen, I'm not a coach, so I can't say whether or not they should play. And I'm going to touch – I have to bring it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I want to get people's thoughts on this. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter. I've seen a lot of stuff over social media about this OU team and how fans need to lay off this OU team. It's a rebuild year. I'm just going to tell you my opinion on that. First off, this is not a rebuild year. You beat Texas, you were undefeated. If it's a rebuild year, you don't beat Texas and you're undefeated. It's not a rebuild year. Yes. Do they have some positions they're still trying to develop? 100%. Has Venables got all his guys in? Not yet. 100%. But to call this a rebuild year, you're putting. It's embarrassing to players like Drake Stoops and all these guys who worked their butt off and thought they could go undefeated after beating Texas. Ask any player on that team after they beat Texas, they thought they could run the table. That's not a rebuild year. So that I just
Jay,
have to get
it's
that
not
off
a
my chest.
rebuild year.
Why are people saying it's a rebuild year? I don't understand.
Yeah, and Jonah Laulu has been great, Jackson. You're right. I don't think there's a chance Deshaun McCullough. I don't know why the Deshaun McCullough talk about
He's not
transferring.
leaving. He's
He's
not
not
leaving.
leaving. He should have a major leap next year. And coaching has been an issue. Infidel 912. It's been an issue. And we went 6-7 last year. Yeah, that's an excuse. That's ridiculous.
Hey, wait. Let me touch on this, Sooner fan. All the ones that are saying it's a rebuild, and all the ones that are saying, well, it was 6-7 last year and 7-2 is an
Sunshine
improvement.
pumpers.
Listen, I agree. It's an improvement. But ask any one of those people before the season if they picked to OU to lose more than 2 games. None of them. They all picked them with this schedule to be 10-1 or 10-2, 11-1. Not any of them picked this team to lose another game. So if they slip up again, it's a disappointing year. You can't. It's already disappointing because you beat Texas and the 2 teams. I think the problem is the 2 teams you lost to are 2 teams you should have beat.
Yeah, and we did lose 5 of those.
Hunter, I disagree. Where were you
Most
seeing
people
that?
thought 2 losses. And look, yeah, if they go 10-2, people would say, well, yeah, and I agree right now it'd be great, but it's the 2 losses and how they happened. OU definitely fans would not have been. I mean, I at the beginning of the year I said, oh, you could very well lose the Red River rivalry. I mean, we all knew that. Yeah, we aren't
Bingo.
sunshine pumpers, and we aren't losers just because we have high expectations. I think we're legitimate fans. I promise you this, guys. Look at next year's schedule and look at this year's, and everyone said this was the year for the taking at the beginning of the year. This was the one. If you go by schedule, this was the year. They should not have lost these 2 games. They played horrible against OSU and still almost won. They didn't play well.
And
That should
listen,
not be happy with that.
this is Sooner fan put it perfectly right, and I've said this too. If they win the next 3 games and win a bowl game, that's a good year.
It's a good year. It's just not a great year.
It's not, but it would be a successful
Played
moving into the SEC. If you lose another one, though, it's trouble. I mean, it's
you lagged out there, Jay. I don't know.
And Coconut Greg, yeah, Coconut Greg, you're right. You don't beat Texas in a rebuild year. And Hunter, you put on there earlier that a lot of the media said predicted 9-3 earlier in the year. Hunter, which 3 games were people predicting them to lose? I'd like to know. On this schedule,
I think a lot of people.
Which 3 games were people predicting?
Honestly, Jay, at the beginning of the year, a lot of people thought it was Texas and at BYU were the 2 hardest games.
Yeah, before the season.
BYU turns out BYU is not bad. I mean, it's not that would be a horrible loss. Yeah, look, if OU were to win the next 3 guys and sneak in the back door against OSU and win the last Bedlam game for the foreseeable future, which would be hilarious after OSU fans thought they had it, I think that would be, everyone say that is a great year. I mean, you're 10-2, you rebounded. Yes. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I think that's to be determined because of there's no continuity on offense, and there's some things that are up in the air. I don't know about major wide receivers transferring outside of maybe a guy like Gibson. Gibson has not been receiving any chances. I don't know what's happening at practice. Maybe there's some things happening, but he's not getting a lot of the deserved shot that I thought he should.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably did say before the year maybe 2 losses, like Sooner fans said, Texas and another one. And that's why I think this game Saturday is so critical. This game, it's gonna define your season, in my opinion. Even and I say this, even a 1-point win to me is not good. You got to look good and win this game because you barely beat them. It's another thing of, well, could have lost this game. I need to see a complete game. That's why I want to see this Saturday. I think that can define their season and make it go in the right direction, end off with a good year.
Yeah. And the thing about the truth is they very well could. Look, here's the thing, Infidel here. Here's the thing. OU had 1 loss against Kansas, which it was a bad loss the way it lost. And they were still in position to go to the playoff. Think about that. Had a loss. The first CFP came out. You watch the CFP announcement showing, you're like, wow, despite the bad loss at Kansas, OU still controls their destiny to get to the CFP playoff.
And they
back it up with a miserable performance of penalties. just debacle of dropping balls, bad snaps, bad play calls, inept quarterback play at times. I mean, you name it, they had it.
Offensively, they had it.
Offensively.
And that's what's got to change.
You did allow a 97-yard drive on defense. It was with 2 penalties back-to-back of 30 yards. That hurt, but we don't need to rehash that. But look, Gibson, Luis, again, thanks for everyone that's being on here. We still got 30 minutes with you guys. Love this. Keep the comments rolling. We got our supers on. But Luis, Gibson has had highlight. I went and watched more tape today, guys. I just keep watching tape. Gibson's been unreal. I don't understand the move away from him.
Well, and his body language didn't look good on some of the plays after they didn't throw it to him. I don't know
if you saw the same thing.
I think the 4th down play, the pass to Brennan Thompson at the sticks, he dropped it. I think Gibson was open there. Kind of got frustrated, I think. So I don't know. He's a guy with his physicality and stuff. He's got to be getting targets. And Jeremy, I love. I think Drake Stoops is a baller. He's amazing. But if you're going to run a fade pattern, why not try it with Jaden Gibson? I don't understand why down by the end zone, and OU was not good in the red zone. Where is he?
Jay, and correct me if I'm wrong, Hunter. Nick Anderson's probably every bit of 6'3", 6'4". Gibson's 6'5", I think. It does not make a lot of sense. And Coconut Greg, I'm still baffled. I'm as baffled can be at why every game is a struggle right now. To me, there's issues within the offensive personnel group and other things. There has to be. There's no other explanation. I hope it gets fixed immediately.
I do too, but let me ask you this question because I know I kind of know what your answers are going to be. Can this offense be fixed with DG? You think DG can get it fixed?
Well, I like the comment that I just read about comparing us to Rice, how we have to bring some kind of gimmick, trickery stuff. That does seem to be it. But does it? I think Levy's trying to sabotage us. I don't think that sabotage is really happening because I think players. And I agree with Jay wholeheartedly. Jay Jones, Jay squared. I wholeheartedly in the fact that I don't know specifically if you go back and watch. If he just, and I'm going to give 2 examples. I sent it to the group chat earlier. 2nd down on the last drive in the Bedlam game. 2nd and 10. The ball is snapped. He locks on to Anderson on the left side. Anderson comes all the way across the field, and he throws an okay ball, a little bit high, and Anderson goes up, has 2 guys around him, and he drops it. That same play, Drake Stoops is running right across the other side of the field. He's on man coverage, and the guy's two steps behind him. That's on 2nd down. 3rd down, he says, hike, throw. 3rd and 10, hike, 2-yard slant to Farouk when he could have did. Hike, look at Farouk, and just looked at Stogner 10 yards doing a little curl in the zone, wide open. There's some progression things. I agree with whoever said that. There is some progression ineptness where he just is not patient enough. Is Jay Jones right there. Thanks, Hunter. I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm not going to argue any of that, Jeremy. I'm
not going to argue with Richard either. He's right.
Yeah. And that's not going to be changed in the next 3 weeks. So, and that kind of goes back to my point that I said that sometimes I think Jeff Levy makes Dylan Gabriel look great because he calls such a great play and guys are wide open. Because if his first read's wide open, Dylan Gabriel's pretty good. But if his first read's not open,
you have to ask, and Jackson mentions the quick read system. Is Levy saying you can go through progressions, or is Levy saying you got to throw it immediately if it's there? But on a 3rd and 10 play, Jackson, you don't throw a 2-yard route. If you got other guys, you can go back to the 2-yard route because then it's 6 yards. It's about going back to it and then 6. And Jay just flipped the screen on me. That was
what
weird.
happened. I don't know what.
I don't know, dude. You're doing magic. There he goes again, making progressions. Who was it, Hunter, that just dropped the chat about too big of a moment for DG? And Obviously, the Texas drive, it was not too big. In the biggest drive of the year, it was not too big. And honestly, here's why. I know Hunter's had a problem with when I've said this, but he just went out and played ball on the last drive. He just went out and balled out. He didn't think about anything. I think he thinks through things too much and worries about if I'm going to go over here, I'm not going to have the arm strength to get back and make this throw, or I'm not going to be able to, extend the play, or I'm worried about this. But he's got to just go play. And to me, that's when he's better. But I don't know.
Sooner fan talking about the other than the Texas game, who has DG actually beaten? And listen, I mean, there hasn't been much, Sooner fan. Go back in the 2 years he's been there. And that's also, you could say that's also Levy, too. Who have they beaten? Hunter put the stats up yesterday about how many games they scored more than 35 at, or less than 35 in the last year. It's for an OU offense, it's not what it needs to be. Let's just say that. And hey, Jay, those screens, to me, those screens work good when you run them a few times and they're setting other things up. But if that's but they're not using it that way. Only a few times they do that. And that could be Ray, that's a good point. I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah. And he did pull the trigger immediately, especially, even early in that game, he came out guns a-blazing, rifles going. But then it's like, was it because there wasn't a lot of pressure that game? And yeah, a screen and go. Hey, he's got to pump fake off those screens some and go down the field. And look, are guys going down the field? I guess that's something to watch. But I know many plays, they got 4 receiver sets out there. I promise you, 3 guys aren't run blocking and 1 guy doing a 3-yard slant. That's not what's happening in Levy's offense.
And listen, last 3 games, 3 interceptions. Okay? And this is it's a true fact in football. When you play better teams and you're not playing Arkansas State and Tulsa, you're playing even Kansas and OSU are better than those teams, obviously. You know what happens to a quarterback? The windows get smaller. They get a lot smaller. And if you're not confident, if you don't feel like you have the arm strength, or if you don't have the arm strength, it's going to show up in games like that. I think Dylan Gabriel's a good serviceable quarterback, can win you a lot of games. I just don't think he can. I don't think he can win you the big games needed to make a Big 12 championship playoff.
And I think he may play really well this weekend against West Virginia. I'm not saying that either. I don't want this to be a just total hate on DG, because he's had some great moments really as a Sooner, but he also might be exactly what many of us, seems like on the Sooner Surge double trouble here, think he is, which is a good quarterback, but nothing to the level of a guy who's going to, and Sooner fan, that's it. He's maybe not. He was a playmaker in the drive.
Hey,
is
Ron.
he a playmaker overall? I think Jay said it best. Anytime you're looking at analytics, you drop the best performance and the worst performance, and that's what you get. So if you drop that performance of Texas and you drop his worst performance, when I don't know what it would be, I think you get what we think he is. He can't make nothing into anything. That's a good way of saying it too. Arnold is definitely a swag guy.
Hey, I'll get him to give you a perfect example. And me and Hunter were talking about this today. Hunter, I don't know if you can pull up West Virginia stats on defense. Somebody was asking. The 4th down play, guys, to Drake Stoops. 4th and 5. As a quarterback, you have no time. This is the game, right? The game's over if you don't get a first down. Okay? 4th and 5. Even Drake Stoops said in the interview that he felt the defensive back coming downhill. That's why he cut it off short, like 3 yards. If you're Dylan Gabriel, you know for a fact, if you throw that to Drake Stoops, game's over. He's not getting the first down. The guy's right on the sideline. He can't make a guy miss. He's almost going out of bounds. As a playmaker, the quarterback there holds the ball, either waits behind the line of scrimmage for somebody else to go open, or tries to run and get the first down. But to me, you can't even throw that ball. You know he's not going to get it, right? You're just throwing the game away at that point.
Yeah, but that was a horrible play call too. So I don't
play call. I agree.
Hey, but I was more on DG on the 2nd and 3rd down on that drive. How he didn't look off a receiver, but 62nd and passing yards allowed. Look, And I think it was Sooner fan that said it. The mid teams, UCF, Kansas, and OSU are three of the cellar
Worst.
dwellers in
Yep.
defense. And
That's
that's
the
where he's not. Is there a
that's the
lack of
frustrating
focus?
part.
And honestly, I think the BV kind of dejection, Jay, seemingly talking about we got to be better in some areas. I mean, OU went against the three worst defenses they're going to play this year, and they seem to have struggled the most in constantly moving the ball and scoring. And that's the disappointment. I'm not talking about the Texas game. Gabriel was great then. He ran the ball a lot, but now you play mediocre defenses at best, and you don't run the quarterback, and he's not making progressions when he has no pressure. He wasn't getting hit in these games, guys. That's the disappointing thing. What is the weather, Corey? Because
It's
I
going to
know
be
that the cold front's.
cool but nice.
I'm in Sapulpa. I know the cold front's moving in tonight, so we'll see what that weather looks like.
Clara
Heck,
says,
I think this is a new guest here on the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. Thanks for being on, Clara. Or new to commenting.
yeah, you know what? They don't let quarterbacks really audible anymore. You don't see it very often, do you?
You don't see audibles. It used to be a really big thing, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't like the looking to the side and having 7 signs hung up over there, having 8 different colors of jerseys on the coaches.
Well,
like sometimes you got to get some stuff to the quarterback.
This week, though, the offense they need to go back and look. They need to look like a machine out there. No penalties, no silly snaps. It needs to be clean and crisp. That's what has to happen this week for this team to turn this thing around. Otherwise, it's not. And I think we say it every week. Is it going to be turned around? Honestly, I'm kind of tired of saying it, to be honest with you. I'm tired of it. 3 weeks in a row we say, is it going to get turned around? And it's not like they went and played Alabama and LSU the last 2 weeks.
That's the disappointing thing.
They played Kansas and OSU, two of the worst defensive teams in the league, and they had two of the worst offensive performance. I mean, I don't know why as a fan we can't question that. Why as a fan do people want to sunshine pump it? That's what I don't understand.
Perfect night for football weather.
Jeremy, why is it if OU fans get on to certain things, people call them that they're bashing the program? I see that as somebody passionate about the program. I don't see that as bashing. Do you? Am I wrong in that?
No, you were lagging, so I missed some of it. Yeah, Dylan throws some of these he knows nothing's going to come of it. I mean,
yeah, but it's different. Easton's right. It's different if he had a guy leaning on him. I watched again. There's nobody there. He could have held the ball for a while. Okay, somebody else get open, move with me. I mean,
Easton, you saw me at Chick-fil-A. Did you work there, or were you just eating there? Hey, Mark, that's the scary thing. OU could actually be better next year and have more losses, but they could be a better team. I mean, that's reasonable, don't you think? Don't you think it is, Jay? More losses next year. You're going to LSU. You're going to Auburn. I mean, you're going to Missouri.
Yeah.
We are a blue blood, and we should always be a blue blood, and we should be in the mix every year. This is the University of Oklahoma. Exactly.
Well, and they had a top 5 recruiting class, and they're going to get another one. Hey, Coconut Greg, listen, I understand what you're saying by that. Put yourself in DG's shoes. It calls up a crappy play, and you have to try to execute it. I understand that. But I just don't see how anybody you got to know that there's no way he's going to pick that up if you throw it. That's like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into that.
Finishing third in a 12-team playoff would be possible. I think that would depend on who the losses is. Hey, Sooner fan is asking about Williams Nwaneri. I've heard nothing on Nwaneri, Sooner fan. Now, there is some recruiting news. I don't know if you want to talk about it or just release the video tomorrow. We can talk about it, right?
I mean, looks like Grant Bricks is visiting this weekend. That's great news.
Great news. That is a guy you have to land, guys. You have to land Grant Bricks if you're a Sooner fan. Massive offensive lineman get if OU could land him would be enormous, man.
And like I said last week when they were going to announce the game time, it's huge that this game is at 6 p.m. Huge. And not 11 o'clock.
And Easton, I would not be surprised if that happened on Sunday or by the end of the weekend. OU's had some success after a recruit visits. And here's the
Let's
deal
just say
about
this: if it doesn't
what
happen soon, it's not good.
if it doesn't
Right.
happen soon. Yeah, Brooks has been a guy that's been kind of on the edge for a while as far as recruiting. I would love for Seton. There's been talk of that too.
Yeah, there's been talk of that. I didn't know if it was official yet, but there has been talk.
I know Hunter will be at that game. I would love to see a jump around moment again. We got to get this energy back. OU's got to get back on track, like Infidel said. It starts this week. I'm here. Am I crazy for saying this right now, Jay?
I don't know. You
Fast,
haven't said anything yet. I don't know.
fast, fast forward to next year. Let's just say 8 games into next season, maybe even 2 games in. This Saturday's game could have a monumental impact on next season.
This
How they
Saturday game,
finish this season and this game and how they finish could catapult them to the SEC, or it could be a scary venture. And if you remember, Paul Feinbaum said the thing that OU fans are going to love the most about going to the SEC is he said they're ready for it. The administration, the staff, the team is ready for it.
yeah. To me, this game is going to, in my opinion, of this team moving forward, is hinged mostly on the offense this Saturday. And when I say,
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, you need to go out there and put 45, 50 points up.
Michael, thanks for being on the Sooner Surge Double Trouble and commenting. Yeah, the offense is playing out pretty much like SEC people familiar with Levy warned us.
Mark says he's a big Texas Tech fan the rest of this season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clara, I would love Seth Luttrell. I think Seth Luttrell is great and beyond ready for the coordinator. I mean, he's been a coordinator at many schools and head coach. So, I mean, he's definitely got the credentials, credibility.
How about next year,
Craig.
Dallas, or next year, OU gets Shane Beamer and Josh Heupel at home.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and tailgating names from Thursday. Yeah. The tailgating atmosphere in the SEC is going to be so fun, guys. And I think next year, with OU going to that scenery, I think there's going to be some fans that, are going to kind of just embrace that first year. Now, you want to win, absolutely, but the whole atmosphere change is just going to be so good.
Yeah, I agree. Infidel, 2 wins for the good guys there.
ATL, was that Craig? OU grad that's in the ATL. You've been watching any Trey Young? You got any games to watch Trey Young?
Will Beamer still be around? I think he gets another year.
One more. I think the question mark is this. Mark, he falls from the Bob Stoops tree. Okay. One thing we have to say about Bob Stoops is he was loyal to the fault. That would be my only criticism about Bob Stoops. He was loyal sometimes to the fault. Is BV going to be that same type of coach? I think you can't be that way right now. You got to make decisions.
What was he too loyal about?
What?
What was he so loyal about that bothered
Many
you?
things.
Why? I'm asking you.
Well, I'll tell you one was his brother.
You can't say
2 things. One was his brother.
Because he brought him back?
They probably should have kept BV, not him. That's the first thing. Second thing, and viewers, what do you think on that? Oh, there's one, his brother. Second of all, I think the Lincoln Riley thing.
What about it?
He just promised that job to Lincoln Riley. Now, he basically...
Yeah, but you don't know the situation there.
No, and Lincoln Riley was good for the years he was here. He was the guy for it, but I don't. But the brother thing, I think BV was the guy that probably should have stayed. And there are some other things. Jay just switched again, dude. Your internet or something, dude.
I didn't switch it. I don't know what's going on, dude. Taking the portal. I don't know what's weird.
You are taking the portal. You're leaving the Sooner Surge and going elsewhere. It's ridiculous. Trying to build something.
I agree with what he's saying here about being more pumped to play Bama than Kansas. And what is Mark saying here? Held on to BV too long and brought in his brother back. Yeah. I mean.
There was some loyalty.
But you know what? He did get rid of Heupel and went and got Lincoln. Later in his career, he kind of.
Hey, why is it that? And look, I don't know why it is. Maybe it's the people who go there forever. that have been at games forever. But why is OU's home crowd? Let's just call it what it is. It's weak. And I'm not. It's just it's packed out. It's just not raucous. I like that term, raucous. The jump around game was raucous. I can think of some other ones. Now, part of it is you're playing a lot of 11 a.m. kicks, but basketball is the same way. It's not good at the LNC. Even when they have a good crowd, they don't know when to get loud.
I think it's more of the game times. Go watch Georgia at home at 11 a.m. It's not a raucous crowd either.
I agree. Night games are better. It
Yeah,
better
you
be
gotta have night.
raucous this week.
Yeah, it gets dark at 5:30. So
West Virginia is not going to be intimidated. They've played OU close the last few years under Neil Brown.
they beat them last year.
And the other year was 16-13 with Lincoln Riley. 16-13.
Agree. So that's why I'm asking you why you think it's going to be different, Jeremy.
I don't know. I guess I just have high hopes, as Panic at
You
the
have
Disco
the
says. Panic at the Disco, high hopes. It's my fault. His golf game got better, Ron. He was on the Pebble Beach Pro-Am looking pretty good. He made the cut, I thought, that one year. Yeah, could be true.
Yeah, but Ron, his last few years, he had the best teams he's had almost. I mean, you look at that. If guys, who in this chat agrees with me? If Bob Stoops stays one more year, they win the Natty.
Maybe.
You have Lincoln Riley as the OC, and you have Baker Mayfield, and you're the head coach. I think they win the Natty that year.
Very well could. And hey, I've actually seen the Vautech entrance is great.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of that earlier this year. It's unbelievable. And I think it's Craig Johnson that was on here for the SEC guy we got on here, lives in SEC country. He's given us some insight into that. But yeah, great atmospheres.
Don't bring it up.
Hotty toddy.
Mark brought up squib kick. How to do it.
Had to bring it up, Mark. Yeah, with Baker. Arkansas State game. Yeah, the Gavin Freeman. And Freeman's been pretty good. Freeman on punt return, I don't have a problem with at all. There was a couple that he's let go over his head. I think he should have caught. But I don't want Bunkley Shelton back there. I don't see why you put two guys back there. No one does that. No one.
Nope. Yeah, that Georgia game still hurts. Golly, it still hurts. Yeah, I remember, man, I remember that game, Ray. I remember that game. There's been some good ones, man. Oh, wow. Corey was at the Rose Bowl game. Oh, man. That's it. That's it, Infidel, right there. Bingo. If we're going to lose, let's lose being aggressive.
Throwing deep balls to the Jaden Gibsons, Nick Andersons of the world.
To me, it's not the deep balls as much as the intermediate stuff. The intermediate stuff looks like it's open all day long.
Hey, and Gabriel's great at intermediate throws. He's not horrible at them. It's the progression to get there.
Well, and you know what's crazy is if you watch defenses now, they're taking away the wide receiver screen. They know they're coming way up. You got the intermediate stuff that's open.
Man, Mark, I don't know that Ollie Gordon's going to hit the portal because the Big 12 next year, I mean, they probably should win it next year.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. Did you hear Bowman's trying to get an extra year?
He's like 42 years old, Jay.
He's trying to get an extra year. There's one year he played two games in. He's trying to get a medical red shirt.
He kind of looks like the dentist guy from Rudolph and the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Go look at him. What was that guy's name? Buddy or Benny or Bonnie or Bun, something like that?
I don't know.
Hey, I agree. The next time we run a play behind the line of scrimmage will be too soon, unless it's to someone like Petaway. Hey, again, first play out of the locker room, second half last week. What was it, Jay? 7 yards to Brennan Thompson. Brennan Thompson and Petaway could get 6 or 7 all day on those screens, but we don't use them. Kimberly K, are you saying wow because of my Rudolph reference? Arizona, all look, but yeah, I mean, no, not Colorado, Mark. Colorado's
hey, Arizona, for a young team and a young coach, they look really good.
They look really good.
Yeah.
History favors the bold, not the weak.
Yeah, I'd love to see more Petaway too. I just don't understand why it's not happening. Hey, I think
That's the
everybody
thing.
agrees.
This is it, Ray Gunn. Look, it's fine to do it a couple times if you follow it with something else. Kimberly K, 'tis the season to be watching Hallmark. I love Hallmark Christmas
You're
movies.
a joke.
I love them. You know what? You know what, guys? Tell me I'm wrong. Hallmark movies, Christmas movies are about as predictable as Jeff Levy's offense. Tell me I'm wrong.
Now that's pretty good.
I mean, you leave the game, you leave the movie, you come back, the rich guy is gone and the guy in the plaid's there, but you leave the game, watching and you come back and you got the guy throwing a wide receiver.
There's a difference.
It's pretty much the same.
The difference is at the end they usually kiss or ride off into the sunset. So
yeah, that is true. Maybe there will be someone riding off in the sunset, if you catch my drift. Bowman looks like the singer for Simply Red, holding back the years. I got to check that out, Ron Brown. Thanks. I have to check it out. Yeah, so no, Corey, actually, look, she doesn't make me.
no.
I've actually part
Jeremy.
of it was our mom loved watching Hallmark movies. That's always was on at the house. I love them. She has had me watch Dance Moms since we have 3 boys. She really wants a girl, but we watch Dance Moms for that.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to name 5 Hallmark movies. Go.
Well, I'm gonna name 5 with you want me to just make up titles?
No, because you know them all off the top of your head. Just say them.
I don't know titles. I can tell you, Lacey Trudeau is the best actress. Paul, what?
Lacey Chabert.
What is it, Jay? Oh, so you do know it?
She's in every movie. They only have 2 actors. Saying. They only have 2 actors and 2 actresses. They're in every movie.
Great. And they're great.
The girl from Full House is in about half of them.
Christmas in Cottage Hill. I'm sure that's one of them. Hey, actually,
Palace on the Prairie.
Santa Living in Alaska. There's one, Candace Bure. She had to go to Alaska as a doctor. Remember that one, Jay? I think that's the one Sooner fans talking about. Candace Bure was in that.
Give us the plot, Jeremy. Give us the plot.
This was a different one. Candace Bure was a doctor. She was a single doctor. She got this job in Alaska, and there was this guy who was like Santa. It was Santa Claus, dude. She was treating him. Is that the? Yes, Sooner fan. That is it. I love that one. Same plot every time. Yeah, you're right, Hunter.
Same plot every time.
On a more serious note, actually, we don't. This is very serious. 3 Boys football is probably always, it is. It's on 7 days a week right now. But we got to sprinkle in some Hallmark and, some Golden Bachelor and things.
Golden Bachelor?
Yeah. Hallmark movie, Levy not dialing up touchdowns.
Oh, let's get your best Hallmark movie title.
Best Hallmark movie title for Jeff Levy.
Let's see.
I'm going to think of one. Let me think before. Planes Train until Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas Vacation. That's how I roll. I do like Christmas Vacation. I don't think anyone beats Bigsby this year.
Nobody beats
the only team that would have a shot is a OU minor league program, or Carl Albert. That's the only one that would have a shot with all those dudes they have, but they won't match up. So I'd love to see a matchup of Bigsby versus Carl Albert at the end just to take it.
Appreciate it, Ray. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry, Switchfoot. Yeah. Yeah. Union, I don't know. Union's got Devon Jordan. Infidel. I don't know if a high school coach can make it at the college level. There's been some that have tried.
Yeah, I think it's a totally different animal.
Lauren Montgomery, maybe as an analyst. I mean, something like that. I don't know. He's got a pretty much well-oiled machine at Bigsby. They're not losing. TU would have been great to hire Lauren Montgomery.
Yeah, but Blankenship tried it there, Jeremy.
Blankenship won at TU. He wasn't great, but they won. And that's the thing, Sooner fan. Oh, wow. I love Teague here. Go back to Teague, Hunter. Let me read that title. I left my package with all the good wide receivers under the tree. That is great. I love it. Drop some more. You enjoy when I get worked up? Thanks, man. It happens often. That's why I'm on the other side of the house from my family right now. He's probably trying to go to bed. Blankenship was TU's best coach over the last decade. And listen, How is Bigsby doing it when they don't have as many D1 guys? They got some dudes, though. I'll tell you, their strength and conditioning program is second to no one. It's better than a lot of colleges.
How about that receiver they threw out there last week against Jinx, Blake Hogshooter? What a name, by the way, and he dominated.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you, Corey. I'm every one of those fans. They do owe Levy. I mean,
I don't know about that.
I don't know how much, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, yeah, I don't know. Blankenship, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Blankenship's a great dude.
Thanks, Jay. I'll try to get TikTok for you every night. It won't take much for me to. And guys,
well, let's hope we don't have to this Saturday.
Hey, let's hope. Now, listen, a couple of important things. 3 nights from now, OU's game probably is going to be over at 9:30 or 10. So that double trouble will be pushed. We're not going to be on double trouble when the game's still going on, but immediately following the game, we will be on to get your thoughts. Tomorrow night, guys, you have the battle series. Last battle series will be taking place. So we will be on our usual Sooner Surge Double Trouble. Would love to have some softball talk as well. Interesting on that last battle series, how that finishes up, who the MVPs are. You got a basketball game at the LNC on Friday night.
Yeah.
Lots of things, guys. And guess what? We're going to be on every night talking with you guys because we love it. We hope you do too. Sorry for all the Hallmark movies, but Coconut, I love this one. Stuffed Run Under the Sooner Sun. You guys are great. We're going to write these down. This is amazing. Levy did coach in the SEC.
That's a good one, Coconut Greg. Love it.
Corey, that's a good point. Hey, guys, you all bring great points every night. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting it roll through 45 minutes again. Thanks for keeping the comments rolling. You guys carrying the conversation. Again, appreciate you guys so much. Till next time, guys and gals, Boomer.
Sooner.